Okay, I'm gonna try and do a real quick Real with Robo video about my plan to solve the opioid crisis in America. Um, President Trump, please listen. I'm gonna have to go through this fast, so just to let you know, try and keep up with me. But I do have the solution, and I have many solutions for many things. If you would care to listen, then please contact me at crunchyyellowlion2, the number 2, at gmail.com. Once again, that's crunchyyellowlion, all one word, all lowercase, the number 2, at gmail.com. Thank you. Okay. Most of the opioid deaths are because pain patients get sick and tired of not having their pain medication, basically. As you put out legislation, it lowers our pain meds too. So we're innocents caught in your war, basically in the crosshairs of your war against criminals and drug addicts. And so pain patients go out to wherever and they basically self-medicate. And that causes the overdoses that so many people see after legislation comes out. Now, a lot of the pain patients, they just get tired of it and they find their own cure, which many, like my best friend, is suicide. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of explaining to children why their mommy or their daddy or whomever didn't love them enough to stay. Now, here's my idea. There are 3 systems out today. One that doctors' offices have, pain clinics have, one that cops have, and one that drug addiction centers have. Now, if you put all of those systems together and basically just information share, you could nip this in the bud and stop putting innocents in the crosshairs of your war. Okay, APHIS. It's basically a system that's nationwide that cops use to put down all the crimes and all the warrants and all everything about criminals. So, of course, you already know that there are going to be like, oh, Joe got stopped for trying to sell, like 30 oxycodones. Okay, that'll be on there. Now, there's also a system in the doctor's offices where they put down all the medications you've been prescribed, how long you've been a pain patient, everything that's about your medical and everything else. Okay? There's one like that at the pharmacy too, and at hospitals. Now, at the drug addiction centers, they have a list of people and what they came in for treatment for. My idea is to combine these systems and make them nationwide, so that if Joe tries to go to a pain clinic and say, oh, my back hurts, blah, 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 and he goes through all their, little things, then the doctor will look up Joe's name and says, wait a minute, he's been convicted of trying to sell medication. I'm not going to deal with this guy. I'm sorry, Joe, you're going to have to leave. Or maybe they type up Jill's name And Jill has been to an addiction center for addiction to morphine, whatever, you know. And then they'll be like, I'm sorry, Jill, but I cannot prescribe you those kind of medications. I could only prescribe you these kind of medications. That will cut off the criminal side and the addiction side to it, so that those two types of people will feel the force of the legislation. And the pain patients will not. It will also help the cops who stop, I don't know, Tom, and he has a bottle of prescription medication, and he's like, oh damn, I put it in the wrong bottle. I am so sorry, I'm such a nut. And they look up Tom's, and it says to them, you know, Tom is an actual pain patient. He's supposed to have this medication. Blase, blase. It will tell the cops Tom is okay. He's not a bad guy. Because sometimes pain patients, they do put their medication in just like a bottle. Or the name rubs off. I don't know why. Maybe they use bad printer ink or whatever. But whatever's whatever. Then the cops will know that Tom's not a bad guy. He's actually supposed to have this medication. And it'll free up the police to go and actually deal with criminals. Not only that, but it'll also give us pain patients our doctors back. See, the bad part about your legislation that you've been putting out is that doctors are afraid to prescribe anything to anyone. They're afraid to under-prescribe anything to anyone. So basically, they're just like, no, I don't even want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and go into a different practice. And that takes from us. And that overweights the pain clinics and pain doctors with unfair laws and regulations that they have to live up to. So that will also free the doctor's hands, saying, okay, well, Jill cannot have this kind of medication, and Jack, or whoever I said, Joe, Jim, whatever, he can't have this kind of medication, but Tom's a good guy, and he's honest, and he's not a drug addict, and he's not a criminal. He can have this medication. It'll make doctors a lot more confident in doctoring actual, true pain patients. See, while you go after opioids, it's a good thing that you're going after opioids, whether they be illegal or legal. But you're going about it the wrong way, sir. Because I said this the other day, and I kind of regret it, but I kind of don't regret it. If 50 Iranian lives are too much to sacrifice for a reaction, how many American lives is it worth to sacrifice for your war on opioids? How many? I mean, because you're sitting there, you're saying, hey, look, they shot down a drone. How many civilians would die? How many innocents would die if we launched an attack? Well, 50 would, or 500 would. Well, that's just too much, so I'm not going to respond to that. Okay. But yet, with your war on opioids, I know over 52 people who have died because of your unfair legislation and the panic and the nonsense that it causes to doctors and pain patients alike. Including my best friend, who I grew up with, who I went to school with, who I dealt with all my life. For God's sakes, we had our children together. Same hospital, damn near the same day. We lived in the ghetto together. When she moved, I moved. And we'd planned this because we were just like that. That's how close we were. How many American lives, how many pain patient lives are worth your war on opioids, sir? 50 Iranian lives were too much for a response to their attack. But over 52 and my best friend isn't enough that deems you listening to me? That's all I want, is you to hear me, to listen to me, to fix this. I have the solution. You don't even have to come up with a solution. I've got an easy peasy solution. The systems are already in place. It won't cost nothing. It will make a few people angry. But hey, those few people that get angry are going to be the ones that should be in the crosshairs. So please, Mr. President, hear me. And I don't know how many times I have to irritate you with ads and tweets and emails and all that. But I'll even sweeten the pot. You've got some issues that you need tending to. And me, I'm a natural diplomat. I could fix those too for you. And I'm willing to fix those too for you, if you will help me stop my people, my loved ones, my friends from dying because of your legislation and your war. Let's make a deal. Let's negotiate. What can it hurt? A meeting to hear me through? My ideas are good enough for the military to use. I don't know why my ideas are not good enough for you to use, to save lives. That's what I'm about, Mr. President. I created a device that detonates pressure-sensitive IEDs. And I don't brag about it. I don't talk about it. But a friend wanted to save lives that were being taken by these IEDs. And he cried out for help. And I gave him the answer. And now they have a really fancy device that the brilliant minds in the military took my idea and put it together, and it's lovingly called Thor's Hammer. Please, Mr. President, let me help you fix things. Let me help you save lives. Contact me. It'll be worth your while. And that's Real with Robo.